For our most competitive van insurance, go to the AA.ie.
Showers dying out tonight and it'll become largely dry. Lowest temperatures of -1 to +3 degrees. And now you're up to date on News Talk.
The Newsround on Off the Ball.
With Gillette. Proud supporters of Movember. Gentlemen, let's mow.
This is News Talk.
Hello there, you're welcome along. Really good lineup, I think, for you this evening, if I do say so. We have Jim McGuinness this hour. He will be talking about the sameness of tactics across the GAA landscape, his next step in soccer management, and the US election this evening. He was living in North Carolina for about 18 months, got a sense of things on the ground there. We have Harry Redknapp and Glenn Hoddle together in conversation with Nathan Murphy as part of our latest Cadbury Remote Roadshow. Lots of good stuff in that between 8 and 9. And then between 9 and 10, Dan McDonald joins us. We also have Catherine Bate with us, the Women's FA Cup final at the weekend, the influx of American stars to English football. That is all on the way. 53106 is the text number. We're at Off the Ball on Twitter. Richie McCormack, good evening.
How are you, Joe? How are you?
Very well, very well. We have Jim McGuinness coming up this hour. It's a long enough chat we recorded earlier on, so just myself and yourself for the news round. We're keeping things relatively brief. There is lots going on, be it Champions League, be it Sligo football, be it Ryan Giggs and the Welsh situation. So we might kick things off with thanks, as ever, to Gillette. We don't just play the game, we change it. Gillette, made of what matters. Where are you starting, Rich?
In Bergamo, Liverpool and Manchester City both have 100% records to protect in the Champions League tonight. Jurgen Klopp's side, as I mentioned, in Italy to face one of last season's surprise packages, and something of a surprising team lineup from the Liverpool boss tonight. The two headlines from it: the famous front three have been broken up, and there's a first start in the centre defence for Rhys Williams, just 19 years of age. He's replacing Virgil van Dijk. Liverpool line out with Alisson in goal, a back four: Trent Alexander-Arnold, Rhys Williams, Joe Gomez and Andy Robertson. In midfield then, Jordan Henderson, Curtis Jones and Jorginho Wijnaldum, and the front three of Sadio Mane, Mo Salah and the very much informed Diogo Jota. Elsewhere in Group D, coronavirus has deprived Ajax of 11 players ahead of their trip to Michelin. They took just a squad of 17 with them to Denmark for that game. Manchester City welcome Olympiacos to the Etihad in Group C tonight. City have Ederson in goal, a back four of Kyle Walker, John Stones, Nathan Ake and Alexander Zinchenko. In midfield, Fran Torres, Ilkay Gundogan and Kevin De Bruyne, with Riyad Mahrez and Phil Foden supporting Raheem Sterling up front. And elsewhere in that group, Porto host Marseille. Couple of games already underway. The 5:55 starts as always. Out east, it's currently Lokomotiv Moscow 1, Atletico Madrid 1 in Group A. The other game in Group A tonight sees Bayern Munich crossing the border to face Salzburg. And in Group 2, it's currently Shakhtar Donetsk 0, Borussia Mönchengladbach 4 at 8 in that group. Real Madrid play hosts to Inter.
Okay, 11 Ajax players missing tonight.
Yeah. And most of them played at the weekend. Most of them played against Liverpool, you might imagine, as well, and against Atalanta. The likes of Andre Onana, Martin Stecklenburg, the two first-choice goalkeepers. Davy Klaasen's out. Dusan Tadic is out. There's like a whole. It's not just fringe players. They're really down to the bare bones heading across to Denmark.
Okay, here at home, Sligo GAA encountering the same problem.
Yep, they're liaising with Croke Park and Connacht GAA after confirming a number of COVID-19 cases on their football panel. They're due to play Galway in a provincial semi-final this coming Saturday afternoon. Sligo say multiple members of the group have tested positive and are now self-isolating along with a number of close contacts.
Okay. Any idea on what the likely outcome here is? We know forfeits are on the table if required. I'm not sure what the schedule allows for in Connacht.
Yeah. I think there's a bit of wiggle room. I'll have to double check this, but I think there is a bit of wiggle room out west in terms of the gap between the semi-final and final. So they might have a week's grace, but like getting the amount of players that it seems are currently on the shelf back and fit and being able to have a panel fit and ready to go against Mayo in, say, 10 days' time would seem a bit of a stretch, even at that. So I think that's what the liaising is to do with now, is to see what's the best course of action forward for them, because in all likelihood I can't see that game being played, but stranger things have happened.
Yeah, okay, we'll keep an eye on that. Meanwhile, the Ryan Giggs situation, very serious.
Yeah, this broke overnight. The Football Association of Wales and Ryan Giggs have mutually agreed that the manager won't be involved in this month's international camp. Wales are due to play the Republic of Ireland and Finland in the Nations League, and they've also got a friendly with the United States. Giggs denies allegations that he assaulted a woman in her 30s. Greater Manchester Police have confirmed that a 46-year-old man was arrested and bailed at the weekend. Assistant manager Robert Page will take charge of those next 3 matches for the Welsh.
Dan McDonald's going to join us on the football show. Lots to discuss with him. Obviously, Ireland due to play Wales, as Richie says, in the next couple of weeks, but a few other bits and pieces as well to get through with Dan after 9 o'clock. Conor Murray will have James Ryan, by the way, I should say. Sorry, Rich. We'll have James Ryan, by the way, on Wednesday Night Rugby tomorrow. Conor Murray was on OTB AM with the lads this morning.
Yeah, and he says the players are disappointed with their performance in Paris this past Saturday. They've now begun turning their attentions to the Autumn Nations Cup, which begins with the visit of Wales in 10 days' time. And Murray says vast improvement is needed.
Sat down this morning and watched the game back on my laptop and did my own review, kind of see where we went wrong, what could have been better. And, that's locked away, and we'll chat about it now when we get up to camp and deal with it. It's fine margins in sport, so when you win or lose, it's always by fine margins. So we're not that far away. But yeah, we're disappointed with the way we performed, but we know within our group, within our bubble, that we can be an awful lot better. So that's what's exciting. It wasn't as if we played to our full potential last week. We just played under par, and we probably deserved to lose because we didn't play that well.
There you are, Conor Murray. Full interview available in all the usual places, including the OTB Sports app or on YouTube. OTB AM back with you as usual, 7:30 tomorrow morning, every weekday morning. The lads are there on all our social channels, on the app or wherever you want to get your podcasts as well. So Melbourne Cup overnight.
Yeah, and an Irish one too, down under overnight. Joseph O'Brien trained his second Melbourne Cup champion with Twilight Payment, winning at odds of 25-1. Under Jai McNeil, Twilight Payment produced a front-running display to win from Tiger Moth, trained by Joseph's father Aidan, into second. And Joseph told OTBM this morning that despite being an outsider in the race, he knew Twilight Payment was capable of a performance.
He was a big enough price, but he had very good form really all season here in Ireland. He had a couple of big wins at the Curragh, he was a big enough price, but he was a legitimate contender all the same. He had ran in the race last year and was a little bit disappointing, but this was our first year with a full preparation with him, and he had come off the back of some very good runs, at the Curragh through the year and in the Irish Ledger.
It's already quite the career, isn't it? I mean,
it's insane.
Insane jockey career, and then overnight I'll just become a world-class trainer, and here we go.
Yeah, and they've got Donegal in there as well, kind of doing the business for them too, on the training front after transferring from the saddle itself. So it's quite the stock the O'Brien family is as well. Serious news to bring as well tonight, Joe. People may have seen this overnight and hoped that it wasn't necessarily that serious, and there was immediate intimations that it wasn't, but TYC Sports in Argentina reporting tonight, they usually are fairly reputable when it comes to this type of thing, saying Diego Maradona is to be operated on for a clot on the brain after being admitted yesterday. Maradona was had detected a subdural hematoma for which he'll have to undergo emergency surgery today. So El Diego needing major surgery down in Argentina tonight. Dan Martin, meanwhile, lost 1 minute and 17 seconds on the race leader on today's 13th stage of the Vuelta a España. The Irish rider posted the 13th fastest time on today's time trial. Primož Roglic was quickest, and he takes the leader's red jersey from Richard Carapaz. Martin remains fourth on general classification, but he is now 1 minute and 42 seconds off the lead of Roglic. Shamrock Rovers are appealing to supporters to stay away from Tallaght Stadium for tomorrow night's Premier Division trophy presentation. The Hoops host St. Pat's tomorrow night behind closed doors in their final home game of the 2020 campaign. After the match, the silverware will be handed over to the players for the first time since 2011. In a statement today, the club asked the supporters to observe health and safety advice in relation to level 5 lockdown and to refrain from gathering around the Tallaght Stadium. And Harry Maguire says Manchester United players won't accept Roy Keane's negativity. The former Republic of Ireland captain claimed United lack leaders after their weekend defeat to Arsenal, but the current United skipper strongly disagrees with his predecessor.
Especially after a negative result, we don't bring the negativity into the place. We stay positive, and I can for sure say that there's a lot of leaders in this squad. I'm the captain, and I've got a lot of leadership around me as well, staff and players. So, no, for sure, there's a lot of leaders in this squad.
I mean, what else can you say? Harry, Roy Keane says there's no leaders. Do you agree? What else can you say? Yeah, he's right.
We're a spineless bunch, and we've been cowering in our shells since the game. It's the main part of that press conference, which was hilarious, was they had to hand over all the questions to the United press officer because both Solskjaer and Maguire were complaining that the connection literally for everybody was so bad that they gave up halfway through, and they essentially, James Robson wants to know, so it was like a Saturday morning TV interview from back in the day on like Live and Kicking or Going Live, one of them. It's like, we have a letter here from James in Manchester. Ollie, he wants to know, what are you going to do to win the next game?
Yeah.
But bless them.
Press officer saying, no, not that one. No, not that one. No, not that one.
Skip.
Give us that info on Maradona again, because the last time I looked, which was about 2 hours ago, I'd seen that Maradona was much better, eager to leave, according to the medical staff, and was doing much better. There was a lack of iron. That was what was talked about. Lack of iron, dehydration, so he was feeling very, very weak, but he was much better today, supposedly, than yesterday, looking forward to leaving.
Yeah, TYC saying Maradona is going to be transferred from the La Plata clinic to undergo emergency surgery for a clot on the brain. They're also saying this evening, saying confirming Maradona's operation, saying I don't know how he is. He just entered. That's one of the members of his family. So it seems this is taking quite a turn, and that they have just discovered this in the past couple of hours, and that kind of emergency surgery is required in this to get it looked after. But it's turned from being something that we all thought was pretty benign and pretty, run of the mill, as much as a hospital visit can be for a 60-year-old man, to something that's quite serious and something that we hope for the best for.
Okay. Next couple of stories.
Yeah, promoter Eddie Hearn is teasing a heavyweight meeting of Tyson Fury and Dillian Whyte for December. Alexander Povetkin was due to meet Whyte later this month in a rematch of their August bout, won by the Russian by knockout, of course. However, Povetkin has been hospitalised with COVID-19 and the fight is tentatively rescheduled for January. Fury had been rumoured to face the likes of Carlos Takam in early December, having not fought since February, but Hearn says a clash of Fury and Whyte is potentially just a phone call away.
Dillian Whyte is more than ready and willing to jump into that fight on December 5th. So it's a phone call away. If Tyson Fury wants a real fight, then we're there. He's there. We'd be definitely willing to have a discussion about that fight. But if he wants a more straightforward fight, we understand that as well. But certainly we are willing to step in and take that fight. Dillian would like to still box on November 21st. It's going to be difficult to find the right opponent. Our show on November 21st will go ahead, either with Dillian Whyte or with, it looks like Conor Benn against Formella headlining Saturday night fight night. But, at the moment, Dillian is looking to fight this year. He's put in a real solid 8 or 9 weeks in camp. So, and it's still fresh, Fraser. The disappointment of understanding that all that hard work is not gone to waste, but it's going to mean I've got to wait a little bit longer.
Rich, we'll leave it there. Thanks very much.
Take care, man. Cheers.
Richie McCormack there with the Newsround this evening. Before we get into Jim McGuinness, competition for tonight. All this week we're giving you the chance to enjoy some of the best golf courses in the world at one of the most iconic golf clubs in the world without needing to worry about the weather. The K Club is launching its exciting new K Golf World at the resort. It's for all golfers, low handicappers or hackers who get to virtually play some of the world's finest golf courses. So K Golf World, it's a suite now of state-of-the-art golf simulators with 8 spacious and high-tech bays, which will be open to the public as soon as it's safe to do so. You'll be able to enjoy your own virtual driving range, work on your short game, practice on any hole in the world. It's available from €40 per hour. For more information, you can go to kgolfworld.ie. Tonight, one lucky listener and a guest will win a 2-night stay at the K Club with breakfast both mornings along with lunch at the new K Golf World for your chance to win. Tell us, in which year did Rory McIlroy win the Irish Open at the K Club? So in which year did McIlroy win the Irish Open at the K Club? Text the word golf, followed by your answer, send it into 53106 for 30 cents. All with thanks to K Golf World. For more details, you can visit kgolfworld.ie. Really good show between now and 10 o'clock. We'll keep an eye on Champions League, obviously very busy on that front. Between 8 and 9, we have Harry Redknapp and Glenn Hoddle in conversation with Nathan. Between 9 and 10, Dan McDonnell and Catherine Bade with us. And up next, we will check in with Jim McGuinness.
The Newsround on Off the Ball.
With Gillette. Proud supporters of Movember. Gentlemen, let's mow.